Battle stations. Fellas, here we go. USS Carl Vinson fleet is currently in Korean waters. Oh, man. Things are getting a little serious around here. See, this is, we were waiting for a response. And where I live last night when North Korea launched a missile, man, we were having some hellish storms going on. Some really crazy stuff. Some thunder I haven't heard, in years. And I was like, wow, this is prophetic. Holy shit. This sets the mood right now. But, basically, guys, what we're seeing is a buildup of U.S. naval forces. The fleet has arrived. The fleet is there. And Donald Trump prepares to do a show of force to good old Kimmy boy. And after the failed launch yesterday of the Scud missile, Kimmy boy, Pyongyang, you know what they said? They said, "Hey, war is imminent. It's gonna happen." It's like they've played their hand already. They know they've lost, but they're like, "Hit me again, hit me," and they're like, "Well, dude, you're over 21, dude. You're over." And he's like, "Nah, dude, hit me, bro. Come on." So we're seeing a defiant Kimmy boy and a defiant Pyongyang, as we've seen in the decades before. Normally, and this is what's different about this situation, over the past 20 years, when situations would get to, this point, actually before this point, they would do, certain tests, and they make some rhetoric, some saber rattling would go around, and some sanctions would be imposed, and North Korea would suffer from those sanctions / get through them because of the loophole with China, and that would call it a day. And 6 months later, we'd hear about them testing their missile program once again, pushing for that technology. So, but we've passed that point, guys. We've passed it. And the president that we currently have, Donald Trump, I don't know whether or not he's a globalist, even though he did say in an interview, "I'm a nationalist and a globalist." Well, you can't be both. I don't get it. Donald Trump, man, the Trumpster. I really think he's being used as a tool by the globalists also. Like he won, and that was a little speed bump in their agenda. But who knew he was so easy to manipulate? Who knew that his daughter and his son-in-law, Kushner, were globalist scum, pushing for this war, pushing for the global agenda? See, the global agenda is kind of like a puzzle piece, right? And we have a bunch of pieces scattered all across the world. And if you put them together, you can kind of see what's going to happen. My theory, what I think is going to happen, I mean, the big two things in the picture right now are Syria and North Korea. And North Korea's been in the news for a long time. But now we have reports that there's U.S. troops that are on the Turkish-Syrian border. Russia, they're not backing down. Assad, definitely not backing down. Iran, testing U.S. naval forces in the Persian Gulf on a weekly basis. So, something is really building up here. And Western powers, man, we're just kind of in a frenzy right now with all the surprise results of all these elections going on, with the social justice warriors, Antifa, George Soros-backed groups dividing our country, dividing our civilization. You really gotta wonder, man. The globalists are in a really good position. Even with their losses as of late, they're in a pretty good position to push their agenda, to push us to the brink of war, to push us towards World War III, to line us up like the sheep that they think we are. Now, what we have to look for, what my biggest fear in the Korean region, when the Sea of Japan, where our fleet is, my biggest fear is that we're gonna have another Gulf of Tonkin incident. I feel like one of these ships is going to be the self-sacrifice to start World War III. And I really hope, I've got a few buddies that I served with in that area, and I really hope and pray that nothing happens. But this is just lining up too perfectly for them, to be able to use one of these ships, one of these military bases, as a self-sacrifice to push their agenda, to get the majority of the population of the Western world to be like, okay, we have no choice now but to start nuclear war. And if you do just a little bit of research, it's really not that hard to line up. Do you see how many world powers are in that region that are deploying troops, that are deploying different artillery batteries, anti-air, anti-missile defenses? How many cities and countries are planning evacuation plans? This isn't just by, coincidence. This is by design. And the coming weeks are going to be very scary. We're gonna have to see if something happens, some major false flag to bring about World War III. All we can do, guys, is keep our eyes peeled and pray, because this is getting serious. Keep your eyes peeled, guys. Why can't this bullshit end? Do they think we're fucking stupid?